Okay, let's continue adding the more animations to our animation controller. Um, so the next animation we're going to do is for walking, and to do so you simply select run, copy the blend tree and then paste it. Then it will copy everything from the blend tree. Let's name it to walk, and right click it and make it a default state for now, so that we can see what happens without changing any code. Before you continue, I already did the um, renaming the motions and setting the loop time and loop pose. So you should do it as well for all the walk animation cycles. All right, so you can better pause the video now and continue when you're ready. Okay, so now we got the animations set up. Let's double click the walk blend tree, and now you can see it has all the run still, but all we need to do is simply change the swap over the motions to the walk. So this is going to be walk forward, walk backward, walk left, oops, walk right, walk forward, left, forward right, right, backward left, and backward right. Okay, so that's everything we need to do to set up the walking blend tree. And we will do exactly the same later with sprinting and crouching as well. But let's see what happens now. So now we simply walk instead of, yeah. But you see the player is moving way too fast, so we're going to control the speed the player moves depending on the animation we change the animation for walk, run, sprint, and crouch. But we're going to do it later. Let me first do what I forgot in the previous video. I wanted to add the function to hide the cursor, so the cursor won't go off the screen. We're going to set it in mouse control. Let's add in the mouse input a new vector, which is a boolean. Sorry, a boolean, not a vector. Lock mouse, and in the awake we say if mouse input, sorry, mouse control, lock mouse, then we just say in cursor visible false. This isn't enough, so we need this as well. Lock state equals cursor lock mode locked. Okay, the only thing is now you need so if we check the lock mouse in the player, we still see the mouse, but we don't see it. It doesn't change position. If you fire once, it will hide the mouse. But yeah, you can use it like this, and it won't come off the screen now. Only thing, if you want to quit, you just have to hit escape, and then the mouse gets unlocked. And if you move your mouse upward, you can see it coming back again from behind the game screen. Then you can quit the game. So that's what you prefer. I prefer to use it off when I'm working with the game, because I can easily change stuff around without hitting escape first. But it's a matter of preference, and we're gonna set it, of course, when you're gonna release the game or when you want to play it. You don't want to see the mouse. Okay, so let's move over to our input controller, and let's make a boolean for the different animations speeds. Or maybe for if we are walking is walking, and we're gonna get bool is running and is crouched. Okay, so is walking, input get key. If you want to toggle the walking, you can do it here as well, but we're going to use it now for you have to press the key to walk. Let's use the Alt key, left Alt key. You can use whatever key you want, of course. I said is running, but let's make it is printing. Is printing, input get key, key code left shift, and is crouched, is input get key, key code C. Obviously you can change this to whatever you prefer. Now let's head over to the player and change the speeds. So for our for moving, right now we only have one speed parameter. So we're going to use a serialized field float walk speed, and this is the run speed. So we're going to refactor it. And if you're using monodevelop, you hit Command R on the variable, and then you just type whatever you want it to be. So we're going to change it to run speed. Then you press enter, and every variable everywhere you use this variable, it gets renamed automatically. If you're using Visual Studio, you can use just change it and then hit Shift Alt F10 and then type the new. Then it gets refactored to the new name. Okay, let's add the other two fields right away. Crouch speed and serialized field float sprint speed. Now let's go to the let's make a new method, void move, and put the movement method, the code for moving in the move, and also make a new. You can also use refactoring for this. So if you select it and you can right click it, I believe. I'm missing it. Thought you could refactor it. Ah, there it is. Refactor, and then you say, so you select the piece of code you want to refactor, and then you say right click, refactor, extract method. Then you place the line where you want to create the function, and press enter, and then it will create a new method, and just give it a name, mouse control, mouse controlling. Look, it's look control. Look around. Press enter, and then it tidies it up a little bit. Okay, so in the move method, we're gonna check for whatever we are. You can see it changed to run speed. So we say by default speed float speed. Let's call it move speed equals run speed. So that's by default. Now I'm going to check if we are walking. So if input controller, which is a reference to the input controller in the game manager, player input, I'm sorry, player input, and then we go is walking. So if we are walking, we're going to say move speed equals walk speed, and instead of using the run speed, we say move speed. So by default it's the run speed, and if we are walking, we say move speed is walk speed. Well, pretty obvious. Now let's go back to the animator, go to the base layer, and we need to make a transition between run, which will be, let's create it our default state again, our default state, to walk. To do so, we need a new Boolean parameter. Sorry, and let's call it is walking. And we make right click, make transition. Then you just drag it to the walk, left click it. Then we made a transition. So basically it does, you can create conditions. So when it turns from run to walk. So with the transition clicked, selected, we can create conditions here on the right. So let's create a new condition. Your parameters show up. Then we say is walking true. We also uncheck the has exit time because we don't want to wait for the animation to finish. So uncheck that one. We also want to go back to the default state if we are not walking anymore. So let's make a new transition. Back, select it, uncheck has exit time, and create a new condition for is walking with value false. So it will go back to run when we're not walking, and it will go to walk when we are saying Boolean is walk. Okay, let's open up our player animation script where we are controlling the animator, and then we say animator set bool, then our name is walking, which is game manager instance input controller is walking, which is true or false. So if we now hit play, it's probably nothing. Let's see, we have maximize and play, we're not going to do it. Let's put it down over here. So we have the animator in our view. Okay, yeah, I forgot to change the speed. So if we say run speed 5, walk speed 2, maybe. So now now you don't see the animation blend tree moving. That's what I said in the previous video. What you want to do then is select the mesh with the controller, and then it will show you. So let's go back to the base layer. Now you can see that run is currently active, and if we walk, we hit Alt, then you see it switches to walk, and then we release. Oh, then we can move around. If we release Alt, it will go back to run. Fairly simple, but that's the way it works. All right, so we're gonna do this for run as well, for sprinting as well, and then for crouching too. So let's look at the speeds for at what speed we are walking. We don't really need the animator now to see. So let's look at the speed. So there's our player, and if we are running, I just tend to look at how the feet are walking on the grid. Yeah. So for run, it seems to be pretty good. Now if I press walk, it still goes way too fast. You can see sliding. So we're gonna reduce the walk speed. Although I feel it not really using our walk speed parameter right now. No, it's not. So let's put it to 2. Check our player if we are move speed is walk speed. It should do. So let's print out the move speed. Oh, there we go. I see what I forgot. I only said one. I only did the horizontal movement and not the vertical movement. So 5.2, something like that. And this is running. Now switch to walking. Oh, this seems pretty nice. 2 should do it. Okay. Now let's head over to the animator and do it the same thing we just did for sprinting. So I copy it and paste. That doesn't seem to work. Copy, paste. Let's name it run, sprinting, sprint. And we're going to need transitions between run and sprint, because if we're walking and we're going to sprint, it will go back to running and then it will go to sprint. Let's double click it. Now we need to, I don't think I did that, so we have to do it now. To the sprint. Yeah. Move this around. And we're going to do it. You cannot do it for all the animations in one time, sadly. So we have to go over it. This is a little lame, but I'm not going to cut this from the movie because I don't really feel like editing the movie a lot, or at all actually, to save me some time. Somebody posted a request for the turn when we are idle. We're gonna do that later on. Okay, apply. So now we got them all set up. Go to our animator. Make sure we are in sprint before we change anything, and then we just simply change everything to sprint forward, which is the first one. Backward, sprint backward, sprint left, sprint right, sprint forward left, forward right. This is a little tedious to do, but backward left. We only have to do it one time. Oh no, sprint backward left and sprint backward. I think I gave the sprint backward right the same name as left. Yeah. So the motion is still called sprint backward left. Yeah. So now it's right. Sprint backward. This should be left. I think I always start with left. So sprint backward left. Sprint backward right. Yep. All right. Let's make a parameter for it. A boolean is sprinting. It's a little small on this screen. I usually work on a different screen, but okay, let's make a transition to sprint and let's make a transition back as well. Now for the towards the sprint. Uncheck has exit time, make a new condition. Then we say is walking false and is sprinting. And we can remove this one actually. We're just gonna say if we are sprinting, we're gonna use this one. So if the player is gonna hold the walking key and sprinting key, we will sprint. Okay, so sprinting is true. And for back, uncheck has exit time. And we say is sprinting false. Then it will go back to the normal. Okay. We could add is sprinting here with a boolean of false, so it will never go into walking when we are pressing both keys. But we can just remove it for now. We can use it at runtime as well to change it around and see what happens. I'm not really sure if we already did everything for sprinting. We set a speed for it. Yeah. So then we say if player input is sprinting, which will simply override the walking speed if we are walking. Sprint speed. Let's select our player and create our sprint speed. Let's put it at 8. I'm just guessing here. Again, put it down there. Animator. Okay, if I hit shift, no it doesn't, oh we don't, yeah. We need to set the animator. So open up player animation and set the sprint boolean. Is sprinting, yeah. Another way you can do this is to make an integer or something in the parameters with like 0 for running, 1 for walking, 2 for sprinting, 3 for crouching, and then set only one parameter. But I think this keeps it nice and clean and understandable. Okay, I play. If I hit shift, it will jump to sprint, and if I release, it will go back to run. So if I hit sprint and run, there it goes. Let's check all the animations if we not missed one. This transition is a little bit weird, but from left to right. But for the rest, we got all the animations. Okay, now if we hit Alt, nothing happens. If we release sprint, it will go back to walking. If we start to sprint now, nothing happens. If we release it, yeah, it seems to work exactly the way I want it. Okay, now let's check the speed of the player. Okay, there we go. So we want to check match the speed of the running. I think it's moving a little bit too fast. Backwards it is. Let's try 7. This seems to be okay. Run, yeah. All right. We're gonna do exactly the same thing for crouching. So let's open up the animator again. Copy the sprint or whatever you want. Paste it. Crouched. Then we go to the crouch. We got a oh yeah, we didn't change any idle because we don't have an idle for sprinting and running. So we always have the same idle, but we do have an idle crouching. So in the crouched animation, we're going to change all the animation names again. Again, a little tedious, and I didn't do this before. I'm sorry for that. Let's do idle crouching aiming right away, but we're going to use that one later in a later video, where we will aim the gun. Now it's walk crouching. Yeah, so walk crouching backwards. Bear with me here while I'll do this, and you can do it as well. It only makes the video longer, but again, if you're changing this, always press enter when you move from the motion field. Also, if you make your own animations, you probably have the animations all inside one single model, but this is the way it works with the Mixamo models. And the last one. Alright. Now let's head over to the crouch layer and, oh yeah, first do the idle crouch. Let's make it a little bit larger. Then we need to crouch forward, walk, crouch, and forward, crouching backward, crouching left, right, forward, left. That's why I always start with left, so I'm not really confused a lot which one I need to use. Backward, left, and crouch forward. Crouching backward, right. There it is. Okay. Now we're going to add a new boolean for it. Is crouched to the base layer, and let's make a transition between these. So let's make a transition crouched, which will has no exit time, have no exit time. Remove this one, and then we say it's crouched true. So it will go from a walking state to a crouch state. And also we go back if we are not crouching anymore, but if we are walking. Let's do it for run too. So we say if we are running, no exit time. For every animation, no exit time. We say is crouched true. And one transition back. No exit time. Is crouched false. And from sprinting a transition one way, if we are sprinting and we say is crouched, then we're gonna let's check this one. Yeah, only is crouched. And transition back, no exit time, is crouched false, and sprinting true. Yeah, this one back should be crouched false. All right, let's see what happens if we do this. Did we already make a no? So animator set bool is crouched. Game manager instance input controller is crouched. Let's check the name of the boolean is crouched to this one. There's an H here, which shouldn't be here. It's crouched. Alright, now in the player, we need to do the if player input is crouched, move speed equals crouch speed. So if the player is trying to sprint by holding down the shift key, and he's also pressing the crouch key, the speed will always be the move speed from the crouch speed. Yeah. Let's set the speed for crouched. Maybe walk speed is only 1, so maybe 2, so maybe 1. Let's hit play. See if we are crouching. Yeah, we press C, then we can see it's crouched. So if we release it, it goes back to run. To the left, to the right. Let's check all the animations. Right now, you cannot press more than 3 keys at the same time. So I cannot do crouching for some reason backward left. It looks like it. So I can, no, forward works, but backward left seems to work too, but backward right doesn't seem to work. So let's check the blend tree if I forgot something. If I hit crouch, the boolean says it's crouched, it toggles. Backward and horizontal isn't toggling. Strange. Well, maybe it's just my key, I'm not really sure. So we got all the animations in place now. Let's make it a little bit bigger so you can see what it will look like. This is when we are sprinting. Crouching seems to work pretty well. And walking, of course. Oh, there we go. Now if I hit shift, if I walk and hit shift now, it will still play the animation for walking, but the speed is for running. So let's look at the animator for that. What happens? Not 2D. So I press Alt and Shift, and the animation is still walk, but the speed is for sprint. So in this transition from the run to the walk, we just say sprinting false. And now if I hit Alt and walk and start to sprint, it will move. No, it doesn't. It still stays at transition back doesn't go. This one maybe. We need to this one. So I'm sorry. The transition back. If we are sprinting through, we want to go back. So maybe we can remove this one. No. So let's add a sprinting false here as well. Why is it still? Sprinting and walking are both. Now it switches over to sprint. Sprinting first. Oh, let's see. I hit sprinting now. Then it will switch to sprint. If I hit walking, it will head to walk. If I hit sprint and walk, it will stay in sprint. If I hit walk and sprint, it will stay in walk. So we need to add a little bit more conditions here, I think. Walking through, sprinting false. Walking false, sprinting through. And it should go back. I'm not really sure why it's not going back. I don't want to spoil your time with this. So we're gonna fix it later. For now, it does what I need to do. All right, I'll see you in the next video.